Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be the second part of the Get Together Game Pack challenge. So last time I did the exterior of the house, but my game crashed again. So I lost the house and I had to rebuild all of it. So I changed a couple of things around. I thought if I was going to rebuild it, I might as well improve it just a little bit. There's always some things you can improve in hindsight. So the garden looks a bit different. There used to be like a pathway of those wooden things, but I changed it up and actually made a sitting area there. Yeah, there's just some small changes. There's more fountain in the front, and there's a pushing well. I don't know. It doesn't really matter that much, but if you see something that looks different, that's why. So today we're doing the inside of the house, and the outside of the house was so easy with this actually being a challenge, but that wasn't challenging at all, that I sort of forgot that this was supposed to be a challenge. So when I started it, I was like, oh, this is just going to be easy. I'm doing the inside. That's always easier for me. And then I realized that I couldn't use all of the items. So if you don't know, this challenge is a challenge where I can only use the items that come with the Get Together Game Pack, expansion pack. So that's a bit more challenging than like designing a normal house. There is a rule that lets me use items that aren't in the game pack specifically when there aren't any other options. So let's say there isn't any showers in the game pack, Get Together Game Pack, which there aren't. I can use the cheapest option from the base game or another expansion pack. So one of the most challenging things is actually finding good wallpaper and flooring for the inside of the house, because I've noticed that a lot of game packs only come with good wallpaper and flooring for outside areas. So finding something that actually looks good on the inside of a house is really challenging. I ended up with this stone wall and a wall that actually looks kind of gross, but I put a lot of paintings over it to sort of hide that. And I made a really large area with plants and all of that, because looking at the outside and the amount of plants are on the walls and all of that, I figured that there must live someone in this house that actually really likes plants. So I made like a area to grow some, I don't know, plants. Get Together also has a lot of those options, and I needed a lot of wall decoration, so I included that as a wall decoration. The only problem is because I used a cheat to get those plants up there, because apparently there's not supposed to be things on those window hanging wooden things. It's because it's when the wall comes down, like with half walls, the plants stay there. They aren't seen as like decoration, so there's floating plants on the wall, which is kind of strange. So in a video a while back, I don't know what video it is specifically, but I will look it up and I'll put the link to it in the description. I talked about doing like YouTube workouts with my mom and how hilarious it was. Oh, I didn't include a television in this house because the cheapest one is actually that penguin thing, and that just looks kind of ridiculous. So if you do want to recreate this house or something, feel free to just include a television, but I couldn't because of the rules of this challenge. But anyway, I was away for a little bit, so we stopped doing the workout, and we just started yesterday, and there's this workout that we used as like a warm-up sort of thing. It wasn't really that difficult, I thought, but because we didn't work out for a little bit, it actually was really difficult, and we basically couldn't get through that one workout that we used as a warm-up previously, so that's pretty ridiculous. Apparently we really improved. I just didn't notice, but that's actually really good to know that we improved. I put a large painting above the fireplace instead of a television just to cover it up. And I also put up a lot of paintings on the wall. I've never been happier before to know that there's different designs on like this antique sort of looking painting. Okay. You just saw the floating plants. There they are. See? Floating plants. But I spin so much when I build, and I should stop doing that because it's just not pleasant to look at in a video. But anyway, I was so happy to see that there were different designs on that particular painting, because obviously I can only use the items from Get Together, so my options are limited anyway, and I wanted a lot of paintings on the wall to cover up, because that wall looks kind of gross. I mean, it sort of looks like it's covered in dirt, and that's probably because it's supposed to be on the outside and not on the inside, but it was the only wall that wasn't like brick that matched the brick that's actually inside, and I didn't want it to be brick all the way around, because the floor is also brick or stone or whatever, and that was just too much, and it was the only wallpaper that actually matched, so I had to cover up most of it. And I think I did a pretty good job, but it was difficult. So you now see me putting in this interesting looking divider sort of thing. And I actually switched that out for the bar stools that were there previously. But when I do these challenges, I really like to show off the items, as many as I can. And I thought this looked, I don't know, it looks really interesting, and I haven't seen it used that much. So I wanted to use it just to, I guess, sort of show it off. And I just put in the lighting too. Okay, so the bush thing. Get Together comes with this weird outside plant that you can use as a toilet or napping place. So officially I couldn't use the cheapest toilet because that was the toilet option, but I really just couldn't get myself to use that. It didn't fit in the room, and it just looks ridiculous. And it gets smelly and it doesn't work. So I chose to not do that because it just seemed a little too ridiculous. And the room I'm working on right now is actually supposed to be sort of a garage and storage room, but I didn't think about the options I actually had, so a storage room didn't really work out that well. One of the walls sort of looks like a storage and garage sort of thing, but I had to fit it up with games and other interesting items. I still think it looks good. It still looks like a really fun room to have in your house. But it didn't really turn out like I envisioned it in the beginning. And now that I'm thinking about this house, I just realized that I forgot to put in a dining table. I always need to forget something, don't I? So I don't have a dining table. You can switch out the divider for bar stools again, so you do have a dining place, or you can just eat on the couch like we do at my house mostly. Or I guess there's other options. You could probably fit in a table somewhere, or in this room that I'm building right now. This could be a dining room and have like a connection like from the hallway. You can remove that little triangle room. It's not really a room, like space that I don't use just because it's just annoying. But you can use that, put in a door there, and then make that the dining room instead of a game storage garage thing. Yeah, but this is how it turned out to be. I never really used the dining tables in The Sims. It just seems annoying to me to have to call your entire family to the meal. If I have like a big family, they always are on different schedules. So some of them are asleep, some of them are awake. They're never hungry at the same time, like never. So I don't really use the dining tables that much. I just let them eat whatever they want to eat. They can eat outside. There's a small table outside. And I don't think there's going to be more than 4 Sims living here anyway, so they can eat outside if they want to. I feel like this family would actually really like being outside. So as you can see, I'm working on the upper floor right now, and this is where obviously the bedrooms and the bathrooms and all of that is going to be. I made one like master bedroom for the parents, I guess, and 2 smaller bedrooms for whatever. But one of them is a kid's bedroom with like a crib and a children's bed, and one of them is like a teen bedroom. Well, I don't know if it's going to be a teen bedroom because it does have a double bed. And the beds I used were actually the camping beds, because those were the cheapest, and Get Together doesn't have any beds. So I just had to use those because that's what the rules are. I have literally no idea what I was just talking about because it has been a few hours since I recorded the last part of this voiceover, because my brother and his girlfriend were baking something in the kitchen. So my voiceover is maybe broken, but at least we have brownies and apple cake. Yay! No, I don't think it's that noticeable. I don't do these voiceovers in one take anyway, so you probably wouldn't have noticed if I didn't tell you, but I thought it was pretty funny. I record in the kitchen because it's like a big room with lots of windows, and that's where I like to work. My own room is kind of, I mean, it's not small, but it's not as big, and there's just one window that doesn't really let in that much light, so I like sitting here on this massive table that's supposed to be a dining table, but as I said earlier, we don't really eat here that often. We do sometimes, but not a lot. So I'm working on the bathrooms, and as I say that, I move on to the wallpaper. I was working on the bathrooms, and there aren't a lot of bathroom items in the Get Together thing. Only the bath, the sink, and a mirror is actually from the game pack. The other things are just the cheapest one, but they look fine. Unlike this bed, which is horrible. I mean, at first glance, you don't really see that it's an air mattress thing, or whatever that's called. Like a camping thing, I don't know. But I know they don't get a lot of energy out of that. So if I was building like a real house, I guess. I mean, none of these houses are real, but if I was building this without doing a challenge, I wouldn't have picked that bed, like, at all. I would have picked the other one that is from the outdoor retreat. So there's not a lot left to do. I'm doing some decorating in the hallway. I think I placed like some paintings and a bookcase or something in there. Then there's the decorating of, well, not decorating, just making entirely of the other 2 bedrooms. I don't know who it's for, like a teenager or brother or sister or something like that. And the kids' room. And I think that's it. I think that's all I'm doing. I really like this house, especially in comparison to my last game pack challenge with Get to Work, because Get to Work did not have a lot of options, because it was built around making stores and not around making living houses. So if I wanted to make living houses, that it didn't really work out, I can tell you that. Oh, I forgot to put in the pillars, I realized later, which is kind of stupid, because the whole point of having that like porch part underneath it was to fit in pillars. And that part probably also would fall down if it didn't have those. Oh, okay. I did make this a teen bedroom. I tried to. I kind of failed because there isn't any wallpaper that sort of looks teenage-like. Just like boring, very sophisticated, I guess. Not really what I was going for. But I did put in those posters, so I guess the story is that the mother or father or whoever decorated the room at first, and then the like teenager put in all those posters to make it their own, I guess. I don't know. It's not my favorite room in the house, but I tried. I just had to make it work with the items that were available. So guys, that's it for this build. If you want to try it for yourself, feel free. Send me pictures, videos, or whatever. I just saved that sort of lets you know that this is really the end. So I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.